Good noon, all of you. How are you all? So, I welcome you to this vocabulary session, Important Root Words. Etymology happens to be one of my absolute favorite techniques to actually learn and remember words. Okay, so I'll show you how you can actually learn words, remember words using some important root words, how it makes the job easier for you, right? And of course we are going to learn a lot of words today, okay, because one root can stem five different words, okay, and every word has some roots in it. So imagine how many words you can learn just by using the root word technique. Okay, so let's begin. Good noon, Sanil. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Anuja. Good noon, Kinjal. Hi, Yash. Good afternoon, Vijay. All right, then let's begin. So, what I have done today is I have brought again different question types. Okay, the idea is to also cover a variety of question types, but the primary focus is going to be on the root words, on learning a number of root words from one question. Okay, so one question consists of five words, let's say. So, in those five words, there could be five different roots, and from each root, there could be five new words that you can learn. Right? So, we are going to branch out this way in today's session. All right, then let's see. So, the first question in front of your screens. Okay, before the question, I want you to tell me, although I know that you know this, yet, just to get this out of the way, tell me what is etymology? Yes. What do you understand by the word etymology? Good afternoon, Krishna. Yes. What is etymology? Let's see who answers the fastest, because I am assuming that you know it. Please prove me right. Good afternoon, Prats. Good afternoon, Amrit. The derivation of a word. Okay, all right. So, hi Yukta, hi Sonali. So, if I look at the etymology of etymology, let's see. So, etymon, right? Etymon means origin. Logy means study. It comes from logos. So, the study of origin of words is called etymology. Okay, now here, how do we study it? What is the origin of words? See, English has been formed from various other languages, primarily Greek, Latin, okay, primarily these two, and then there have been other words that have been borrowed from French, Italian, etc. Right? So, when we look at the origin of a particular word, we go back to its very root. That's why they're called root words. We go back to its very root and see, okay, where did this word originate? Okay, what is the meaning of that original, let's say, part from which this word has originated? That's what we see. Okay, so let's look at this word here, a very simple word, incontrovertible. All of us know controversy, right? Controversy. So this word incontrovertible comes from there. Something regarding which there cannot be any controversy. That is incontrovertible. So if I say, this is an incontrovertible fact, that means it's you can't dispute it, right? So that is what incontrovertible means, right? Right. Etymology, the study of origin of words. Correct, Sonali, Ankit, Prads, absolutely correct. So yes, incontrovertible. If I break it, see how many parts I can break it into. Okay, incontrovertible. This in here acts as a negative prefix to show that there cannot be a controversy regarding this. Able is a suffix which means capable of. It comes from able. Able becomes able in some words. Right? Contro. Contro, contra. What does this root mean? Any idea? This part of this word? So roots are the most basic parts of a word. The word cannot be broken any further. Indisputable, yes, correct. Indisputable is a synonym. Now, contra, against, right? Against, right? So there are so many words that have contrast, contradiction, contravention, right? So contro means against. Now, word. Again, you must have heard this root in a number of words. Introvert, extrovert, ambivert, right? Vertigo. So word means to turn. Something that you cannot turn against. Something that is not capable of being turned against is incontrovertible. Okay, in short, indisputable. You can't dispute it. That's when we call something an incontrovertible fact. Right. So from controversy, I named a number of words. From word, I named a number of words. So that's the magic of the root word technique, that from one root can stem multiple words, and that makes it pretty easy for my mind to actually categorize them in one place on one criterion. Right. So it makes it easy to learn and remember words, the root word technique. So today, through questions, we are going to look at some common root words. Okay, I didn't go for just a word, root word, and then word approach, because that could become a little monotonous for you. So through questions, we are going to look at some roots here. This is your first question. You have to tell me the synonym of benevolent. That's how we pronounce it, benevolent. Yes. Absolutely correct. Anuja, Sonali, Chaya, Yash, just read your messages. You are correct. Turn is the meaning of word. Good. So that means some of you have done word par made easy, have paid heed to what I have told you. And if you have, then I think this question is not a difficult question for you. Amrit says A. Okay. Ram E. Correct, Shriyans. So Shriyans, you must have your Rohtak exam on 26th. I am Rohtak. Are you taking it? Is it C? Okay. Magnanimous. So A, C, D, E. Okay. I've got very diverse responses. All right. All right. So all the best, Shriyans. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. I've got everything. Everything under the sun. Mag means huge, big. Benny means good. Okay. So you already know the meanings of some of these parts, some of these roots, right? So benevolent. Let's have a look. Ben, you are absolutely correct. It means doing good or good, right? So who is a benevolent person? Volos. Volos means wish or will. Wish or will. Your well-wisher, somebody who wishes good for you, is a benevolent person, right? The opposite would be malevolent. Mal means bad, right? So, benevolent means somebody who wishes good for you. So, what is the closest meaning? Okay, basically, such people tend to be kind. They wish good for others. They are kind. They also tend to be generous. So, the closest word here is magnanimous and not equanimous. Right? So, C is our answer here. Now, magnanimous, you are absolutely correct. Magn means great. Magn means great. Anim, which is a root present in all of these words. That is our primary root here. What does anim mean? Beneficial, absolutely. That comes from ben. So, beneficiary also. The beneficiary of a scheme. Okay, benefactor, someone who gives money or other support for a cause or a person, is the benefactor for that cause, for that person, right? Beneficent, benefit. Beneficent, again, doing good. It's a beneficent act, or he's a beneficent person, right? So benevolent, beneficiary, benefit, benefactor, beneficent. Okay, a big hearted person, correct. So anim would mean heart, mind. Very good. Anim means heart, mind, soul, breath. Basically, all those qualities that are not bodily, that in the sense that are not fleshly, right? Mind, soul, breath, heart. When we talk about these matters, we use the root anim, right? Animal, animated. All of these have anim in them. So, inanimate objects, they don't have these things. Inanimate, non-living things, right? So, let's look at these words now. Equanimous. Okay, so equanimous, which roots does it have? Anim, I know. There is another root here called equus. Equus means equal. Equus means equal, right? So, we did this. We have done this word equanimous earlier. Somebody who is calm, equanimity. Remember, we did this word equanimity. Equanimity, I said, is calmness. In one of the vocabulary sessions only we did it, right? So equanimity is calmness, and equanimous would mean calm, even-minded in the face of pressure, right? Okay, so the root was equus. Now, pusillanimous. Pusillanimous. This has a root called pusillus. 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 Pusillanimous. Is it a positive word or a negative word? If I call someone pusillanimous, I mean pusillus means weak. So I mean that this person is weak-hearted. Weak-hearted. And here weak-hearted does not mean somebody who is, let's say, fearful of something. It means somebody who is cowardly. Somebody who is cowardly is not courageous enough to act. Right? Pusillanimous, magnanimous, large-hearted, and therefore kind, generous. Simply animus. Okay, now we have simply animus. She holds a lot of animus towards her friend turned foe. She holds a lot of animus towards her friend turned foe. Correct, Vicky. Cowardly and perhaps, yes, it was a negative word, pusillanimous. So, animus, she holds a lot of hatred. She holds a lot of hatred towards her friend turned foe. Now this person is an enemy, right? Unanimous. Uni plus anim. Uni means unity. Yes. Numero uno. We say this. Numero uno. Number one. So uni means one. Okay. Uni means one. So all of these roots we learned through this question. Anim and a number of words from anim. Ben and a number of words from it. Volos. Let's look at some words from volos. Can anybody tell me? Volos, it means will or wish. Benevolent, malevolent. Okay, done. Correct, Prats. One, single, uni, unity, unanimous, numero uno, right? Unilateral. All of these mean one. I mean, in all of these, uni means one. Volos. So, involuntary. Absolutely correct. So, voluntary, involuntary, volunteer, volunteer, all of these come from volos. What else? Any other word in mind? Volition. Remember? Volition. And a new word that it was a new word for me also that I came across recently, velity. Okay, velity. So, voluntary, something that you do out of your own will or wish. Involuntary, an involuntary reaction, let's say, not done out of your own will. When you volunteer for something, or for a cause, let's say, you do it out of your own wish. Volition means your will or wish. If I say, she did this thing out of her own volition, nobody forced her. So, out of her own volition, out of her own will. Velity means such weak volition. Velity means a very weak degree of volition. A highly weak degree of volition. It means that your will is so weak that you are not acting on it. Okay, that is velity. This is V-E-L-L-E and I-T-Y. Right? Dio volente. Very good. God willing. You remember this from the last class. Very happy. Dio volente. God willing. In this context only we discussed it. Remember? We discussed volition also. Okay, now I have some words here. Voluptuous, revolution. Okay, okay. I understand you're giving these words. And revolution. Now, revolution does not share this root volos. Then what is the root that it has? Revolution. Can anybody tell me? Revolution, evolution. Which roots do they? Which root do they share? Yes, they have this root volvier. Okay, so you can just call it Volvo. Okay, or VOLV, right? To remember in short. So this volvier means to roll. Okay, so a Volvo bus also rolls, right? It rolls. So revolution, when something in a way rolls again, turns again, that's a revolution. Now things are going to turn again, right? Then evolution, again, you are in a way uh, turning upwards, growing, that's the idea. Okay, evolving, growing out in a way. Okay, then voluptuous, yes, voluptuous. What is the root for this? Voluptuous, yes. Same as evolve, revolve, or some different root? Tell me. It has a different root altogether. Okay. It means it comes from voluptas. Okay. Voluptas, which means pleasure. So voluptas means pleasure. Okay. So voluptuous means somebody who is curvaceous, somebody who is therefore sexually attractive because of being curvaceous. Right. So this comes from another root altogether. So sometimes, see, that's why for me, root word technique is a way to learn and remember words. I don't try to guess a lot of words using the root word technique. Sometimes I do. The best of us do it, right? Sometimes it helps also. So, however, don't make it a primary tool to guess the meanings of words. Make it a tool to learn and remember the meanings of words, right? Because if we guess, then there are so many roots in English language, so many of them are similar to each other that we might get confused. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Volvier, voluptas, volos, right? And actually, volos is also something that I've told you for a convenience. The root is actually velier. Okay, so because they come from Latin, okay, from other languages, they tend to have complicated names. We've just simplified them for you depending on how they are used in a particular word. Okay, uni, you now know. Magnanimous. Okay, what else from Magnum? Give me some other words from Magnum. Yes, let's make it great. Let's make it large. Some words from Magnum. Magnify, a magnifying glass. What else? Revolver. Yes, revolver also comes from there. Magnitude. The magnitude of a problem is the extent of that problem. Magnitude means extent of a problem. The greatness of its size. Okay. What else? Magnet does not share the root magnet. Okay, magnet does not share it. However, there is another word, magnate. N-A-T-E, magnate. M-A-G-N-A-T-E. Anybody who knows the meaning? Magnificent, absolutely. Magnificent. A magnet is a magnificent, sorry. Yes, correct, Chaya. What does it mean? Okay, have you heard this term Magnum Opus? I'm just writing it. We are going to discuss magnate as well. Just waiting for your responses. Magna Carta, yes. No. Magnate is a tycoon. A magnate is a tycoon. A big shot in the business world. Okay, a big business tycoon is called a magnate, right? So we could call someone a liquor magnate if they're in the business of liquor, a jewelry magnate, right, etc., etc. Okay. Now, magnificent, again, something that's great, impressive is magnificent. Magnum opus. Okay, magnum opus. So, magnum opus is written there. I'm writing Magna Carta here, just a little short of space, right? So, yes, magnum itself is a word. It is used to measure wine. It's a measure of wine. Okay, when the wine is more than what it usually is, twice the size of the usual size, that's when it's called a magnum. Magniloquent, yes, somebody who uses these big words, okay, without any reason, very bombastic in their speaking style. That person is magniloquent, right? Magnum opus, somebody's magnum means great, opus means work. So some a very fine work of, let's say, an artist. This could be a painter, a filmmaker also. So their biggest work, their greatest work, their finest work could be called a magnum opus, right? For instance, we could say that Mona Lisa was Vinci's magnum opus, right? Magna Carta is used for the royal charter. Okay, so it has limited usage. So it was again a charter giving the rules of how people should behave, some rules. Masterpiece, absolutely correct. Magnum opus, their masterpiece. Correct, correct, correct. Okay, so we've learned a lot of words from Magn also. Fusillanimous, I didn't find a lot of words from it except Fusillanimous, right? Now, this shows that, okay, from this one question itself, we've learned about 30 words. Yes, we must have done that. Or 25 at least. Let's call it 25. So 25 words just from one question, right? Let's come to the next question. And it's a good question. I have discussed some of these words earlier. So really looking forward to your answering it correctly. Yes, tell me the answer. You could even guess the meaning. Creme de la creme. Yes. What does it mean? Creme de la creme. Magnoscope is an instrument. Correct, Sanil. If I say the party saw the creme de la creme of the business world. Then it saw the best of the industry, right? So creme de la creme means the best in their field, the best in a particular industry, etc. Okay, and of a particular kind also. Okay, the cream actually, the cream. Lucid means clear, correct. Lucid means clear. So okay, your response is B, then D, C also. Okay, so I've got B, C, D so far. What else? Okay. More responses I need. Come on. Why is so few of you responding? I want more enthusiasm. Come on. This is a vocabulary session. How will it become interesting if you don't participate? D. Okay. Adda is saying D. Okay. So I've got B, C and D so far. And lucid is something that you know the meaning of. Lucid is not a difficult word, right? It means something that is clearly expressed, right? It's used for your speech, for your writing, for your arguments, clearly expressed. Now, I understand a lot of you saying conspicuous. Conspicuous is an option that I included to make the choices close, okay, to confuse you a little. And you must have realized by now what is the primary root that we're discussing through this question? Spic, right? Spic is the primary root, spic or spect. So, now let's look at the meaning of conspicuous in that light. And incidentally, Luke also means light. Luke, L-U-C, and lum, right? Luminous wala, they mean light. So, let the word throw light on its synonym. Conspicuous. When I say that, con is a prefix that means together. That means together, with, all together. So prefixes have a number of meanings at times. Spic means to, spic means to see. Okay. Then coming to OUS. OUS means tending to, okay, or doing something. So it's basically a suffix that is used to turn a word into an adjective. Okay. And it means tending to, let's say, or doing, or having the quality of. Now, See how we can break a word to its very bare form. That's what I love about the this root word technique, because you are able to understand the word in a very scientific manner. So conspicuous, something that you are able to see all together. That means something that's very clear, very clearly visible, clearly visible. Conspicuous, right? Her presence in the party was conspicuous, right? She made her presence felt. Okay, so then if I say that particular table was so conspicuous that I couldn't ignore it even if I wanted, right? Let's say it was Ashneer Grover's table, the one that became famous a while back, right? So conspicuous, clearly visible. Now, the answer here, however, is not this, because the idea is about clearly expressed, and that is perspicuous. Okay, perspicuous means clearly expressed. Now, per is again a prefix that means thoroughly, utterly, very. Okay, thoroughly, utterly, very. Right, this is what per means. So, something that you're able to see through, see thoroughly through. That's the idea. Perspicuous. Something that is clearly expressed, thoroughly, clearly expressed. You are able to see it thoroughly. So, this is the answer here. Now, can anybody tell me the difference between A and D? What the root con, I hope, is clear. Con and com are similar. Yes, Pranav. Con and com similar. Auspicious. Okay, we'll see. AU is gold. Okay. So AU is gold as a symbol, right? But is AU gold even as a prefix? Auspicious? Hmm. So it actually, auspicious is again an adjective form of a noun that already exists. That noun is auspice. Under the auspice of, if let's say you've heard this term, we are doing this under the auspices of, right? That means with the help, support of. Spic, you are right, it means to look here, but AU does not have anything to do with gold. Okay. Um, Actually, if I go into its root, no, this has something to do with birds. Okay, something to do with birds. So auspicious, let me just write the roots here. Just a second. Let me make it clear. You are right. There must be a story behind this word that I also need to find out. Now, spic means to see. This comes from avir, which means bird. So, an observer of birds is what it would translate to, auspicious. Now, in probably in some divine, let's say, or some practice such as astrology or something like that, probably observing birds was considered to be some sort of an not omen. Omen is used for negative words. Some sort of a harbinger, that indicating the onset of something, right? Some sort of a prophetic token, etc. So probably from there we related auspicious to birds, right? So sometimes the roots can be the story behind a word can be very complicated, very unclear, etc. Okay. And it might be that over the years the word has evolved. For instance, in impecunious we discussed, pecus used to mean cattle, but now it's used for money, right? So same is the story of auspicious. Avir means birds, pic means to see, an observer of birds, but perhaps in some sort of a divination practice this was used, and that's how it's related. I hope it is clear that it's not gold. So please don't associate science literally here. Okay. Perspicuous is clearly expressed. Now what is perspicacious? Perspicacious. Very close words actually. Yes, very close words. So this is a person who can see through things. A perspicacious person can see through things. So it's used for people only. Perspicacious. Discerning people. So if I say that journalist was perspicacious, that means this journalist was discerning, unlike a lot of journalists today, right? He could see through things. He could analyze things pretty well. So perspicuous, perspicacious. And because they're so similar, no, that's how I remember these words. Clear. Okay, the shorter word is clear, the bigger word is clever. That's how I have created a mnemonic for myself. You can also create mnemonics for yourselves. Okay? I hope this is clear to you. These three words, despicable, despicable. Someone you look down upon. Comes in decrease, devaluation, right? Someone you look down upon. Such a person whom you look at with contempt, dislike is a despicable person. Right? Despicable Me, the movie. You can associate it with that. Spectator, all of us understand now. Spectator. They are onlookers. They are onlookers. They just keep looking. I mean, the spectators in a match are people who've come to watch the match. Otherwise, they are onlookers. Okay, people who don't do much, but they just look. Right? Remember, we discussed spectacles versus spectacle also in a grammar session. I want you to recall it. I want you to recall this. Right? And we'll discuss it. So these are the roots that you've learned through this. Okay. Per, con, d, they are prefixes. Right? And spic and spect, these two are roots that mean to see. Okay. Suspicious also comes from here. Yes, yes, yes. Suspicious also comes from here. Sumptuous and scrumptious. Scrumptious, yes. Sumptuous and scrumptious, again, very close words. But again, what's the difference in their meaning? If I say I had a sumptuous meal, so how is it different from a scrumptious meal? Yes. How is it different from a scrumptious meal? First of all, scrumptious is an informal word. Okay, so this has been popularized by the cafe culture where, you know, people write reviews on Zomato and leave this word scrumptious. So it's an informal word. It means tasty, delicious. But when I say sumptuous, it has an element of luxury. Yes, one is a lavish meal. Correct, Shriyans. It has an element of luxury associated with it. Right? So sumptuous is luxurious, used for meals, and scrumptious is tasty. Good, good. Speculation also comes from here. Correct, correct. Despicable, someone you look down upon. D means down. Spic means see or look. So you look down upon this person. Looking down upon someone means you think that they are not good, you dislike them, you have contempt for them. Right? Okay, so we've learned 5 new words, at least 5 new words, and we've looked at the complex etymology of some of the words, right? Okay, then let's come to the next one. Antonyms. Now here's an antonym question for you. The word given is very simple. Planned. Okay, planned, unplanned. So planned is an adjective. Tell me which is the farthest. Give me the antonym of planned. Yes. Degrade also has D. Correct, Shiva? Okay. We have fill in the blanks. We have matched the following, odd word out too. Right? So, degradation, degrade. Correct. Degrade is the verb. Degradation is the noun. The opposite is unplanned. Yes, Nandraj. So, tell me which of the words here means unplanned. Pranav says B. Chinta says E. Shiva says A. So, multiple responses. Okay. Thank you. A, E, B. A lot of A's I'm getting. Contravention. Contravention, okay. D, okay. E, alright. So that means you think venturesome and inventive are not the answers. So you know the meanings of venturesome and inventive? Venturesome. If I call a person venturesome, what kind of a person are they? Boring, interesting? What kind of a person? A venturesome person likes to take risks. Okay. So actually, you know, the word venture itself, the word venture is a shortening of the word adventure. It's a shortening of this word adventure. right? So if someone starts a venture of their own, right, a business of their own, in a way they're taking some risk, right? So it's a shortening of adventure. So a person who's venturesome is adventurous in nature, likes to take risks, okay, thrives on risks. So such a person is venturesome. Inventive, and I hope you've guessed the root, the primary root that we are discussing. Yes, present in all of these words. Okay, so I've got C also now. Inventive. Somebody who's inventive. Invent comes from invent, right? If you break it, in plus vent plus IVE. Now, in, it means in, right? Come, vent means to come, right? Vent is come, occur, happen, these things. Come, occur, happen. So, inventives, some idea comes to you, right? You discover something. Yes, you discover it. It comes to you. If means again tending to, doing. So, a person who is inventive in nature is very creative, imaginative, okay, tends to discover new things, tends to come up with new ideas. Such a person is inventive in nature. Yes, comes from invent. Simple. Correct, correct. So, daring, adventurous, risk taker, all of these are synonyms for venturesome. Correct. So, these two are now out of the window. We are looking for unplanned, and B and C are not the answers. Most of you haven't given this. These are the answers. Now, contravention. Contra we just learned. Against. Right. If I say, what you have done is in contravention of our rules. What you have done today is in contravention of our rules. That means it comes in conflict with our rules. So, contravention, an act that comes in conflict with. An act that comes in conflict with. That is contravention. तो अब ये भी आंसर नहीं हो सकता. A is also eliminated. So even if you're not able to recall the exact meanings of words, no, see where you have heard them, in what contexts have you heard them. So for instance, an inventive person, I've again heard it when, let's say, somebody comes up with something original. So then we call them inventive. So even if let's say my mind in the exam couldn't even relate it to invent, I could still guess its answer. I mean, its meaning, right? So C is eliminated anyway. Circumvent we've done in a last class. That's why I included it, just to check how much you remember. Circumvent, come, or it could be go also, right? To skirt around the rules. Yes, when you go around the rules. When you don't follow them, you just find a way around them. That is to circumvent. So circumvent can also not be the answer. Yes, violation. Correct, Pranav. Violation is contravention. Okay. So even this is eliminated. What is left? Option E. That is our answer. Adventitious. Adventure se बनाई हुई. Adventitious. Something that is unplanned. Okay. Adventitious. Add to, it just comes to you. There are certain opportunities that just come to you by chance. So something that just happens by chance. You didn't really plan it. That's an adventitious opportunity. Right? So some of these prove to be very good for us. So adventitious, something that happens by chance, something that's unplanned. Serendipitous is a synonym. Serendipity, I think you've heard this word. So serendipitous is a synonym. We discussed another word related to this, fortuitous, if you remember. Fortuitous. Adjective, adjective, adjective. Right? Copyright definition in law. Okay. Inventive. Yes, Anil. Good. Okay, so you could remember them from different places. For instance, contravention also somebody could have heard in a legal context, right? Circumventing the rules we discussed, so you could have remembered it from there. So make associations, remember things, okay? And again, I think we've done 6-7 new words here, right? The primary root that we learned is went, right? Contra means against, ad means to, right? Admission, ad changes its forms also. So for instance, when I say affluence, you wouldn't guess that it has ad in it as a prefix. So it can change its form also. Ad plus fluo. When money flows towards you, it means towards, right? Money flows towards you. That's when you are affluent. Yes. Then scent. See, where is scent? I've written it at the wrong place. Uh, scent. हाँ, scent यहाँ पर नहीं है. Scent is not present here. It's probably in some other question, right? So if you remember, yes, it's in the next question. We'll discuss it. I don't want to give away the meaning. Circum is round. Circumference. Yes, it means round, to go around. Circumference, circumcenter, all of these things that you studied in geometry. ठीक है. So far, how many words have we learned? Those of you who are noting it down, noting the words down. And others, please attempt this question. Antonym question. After this, we have 2 fill in the blanks. We have some, we have 1 odd word out. We have 1 match the following. Okay, such questions also. Yes. Farthest in meaning to the given word. Circumspect. Yes. Pubescent. Very good. So, if something is circumspect, see, circum and spect. We've done both the roots now. So, valiant means strong. Okay. Nandraj says that. So, C, B. Okay. A lot of you say C. A lot of you, by a lot of you, I mean those who are responding. So, if I say that, this person was very circumspect in their statements, that means this person was very cautious. This person didn't want to probably put himself or herself in any kind of risk, right? That is circumspect. So basically, you try to, go around something in a way. Again, you are seeing around. You are cautious. You are aware of your surroundings, right? That's the idea. You look around. You're cautious. So from this comes circumspect. Then another word that you gave was, just a second, pubescent. Yes, we'll discuss pubescent and adolescent and one more word in the next. In this question only, no, convalescent. Yes, we'll discuss these. So C is the answer. We seem to be pretty sure about it. Circuitous. Okay. Yes, what is circuitous? Sir again has this circle wala sir. Yes, circum is present here also, just that it becomes circuitous. Again, if I say that, he talks in such a circuitous manner that I feel that I shouldn't talk to him at all. I should talk to someone who's straightforward. So when you talk in a circuitous manner, again, you just go round and round. You beat about the bush, right? When you do something in a circuitous manner, you choose the indirect long way and not the direct way. So circuit se aaya, circuitous, right? You are trying to go round and round, okay? Not doing the direct thing. Circumlocution, again, yes, circumlocution, good. I'm glad. If you remember it from one of my earlier sessions, then I'm glad, even more glad actually. We discussed this, right? Circumlocute, circumlocution. Loquer means to speak, circum is around. Again, when you just beat about the bush, सीधा point पर नहीं आते आप, right? So that is circumlocution. So if I say the politician was circumlocuting like anything, that means he was just beating about the bush. So good. Which word did we do in the last one? Circumvent, circumspect, circumlocution, circuitous. All of these come from circum. Right. Scent is becoming. Correct, Vicky. Scent means becoming, in the process of. Correct. Okay. So valiant is the answer. This was not a difficult question, right? Because cowardly is a word that you know. If I say he's a cowardly person, he's a pusillanimous person, right? The opposite is brave, courageous, valiant. So this is the word. Now the primary root again that we're trying to learn here is val. Val, that is present in all of these. So what would val mean? Yes, in your opinion, what would val mean? Yes, inspect is also related to spick and spect, Vicky, correct. Val means strength, okay, or value. Strength or value. Right? Valor, absolutely. Valor is courage. So from valor comes valiant, right? So VALOUR is the British spelling. The American spelling is VALOR. Right? So now it means strength. So this means strong. Convalescent. Con altogether, as I said, altogether. So becoming strong altogether, gaining their strength, and scent is becoming. So scent, here I should have added scent. Okay. So scent is becoming. Con plus val plus scent becomes convalescent. Altogether strength or strong and becoming. So this person is recuperating. This person is recovering from an illness. This person is gradually gaining his or her strength. Right? That is convalescent. Okay. Then prevalent. Yes, something that has currency right now. Something that has value right now. That is prevalent. Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Prevalent has this root. Ambivalent we discussed. Ambi means both. This side, that side. Ambi means both. Ambivert. Ambidextrous. Yes. Ambi means both. So ambivalent, having mixed feelings about something. That means both the feelings hold strength. Both the feelings hold value for you. Ambivalent. Equivalent. If I say A is equivalent to B, A is equivalent to B. Equi aa gaya dobara se, equus. Equus has come again. This equus. That means both the things are equal in value. Equal in value. That is equivalent. So A is equivalent to B, equal in value, equal in meaning, etc. etc. Devaluation. Decreasing the value of something. That is devaluation. Right? So val is clear to everybody now. You'll remember these words from val. It means strength, value. These are all common root words that we are discussing. So these are all high frequency words. Okay. Convalescent, ambivalent, valiant, equivalent, and devaluation. Right. So ambidextrous. Who is an ambidextrous person? Ambidextrous. This always brings an image to my mind. So I'm just waiting for you to answer and then I'll tell you. Depreciation, devaluation. Yes, yes, yes. Correct, correct. Ambidextrous. Who's an ambidextrous person? Tell me the meaning. Can write with one who's skilled in using both the hands, right? So yes, Amrit, it's used for those people who can write with both hands. Yes. So virus from Three Idiots. Yes, it brings that image to my mind. Yes, absolutely correct. So ambi means both. Dexter means hand. Dexter means hand. Actually, dexter means your right hand. Dexter means your right hand. Okay. Sinister means your left hand. Sinister means left hand. And sinister is not used to mean hand today, isn't it? Sinister is something that's very gory, something that's very cruel, horrible, okay, horrifying. That thing is sinister, dangerous. So that's because earlier left hand was associated with bad things. People who were lefties were really stigmatized upon. Okay. So it was thought to be bad. So that's why sinister became associated with bad. Right? Again, have you read this in word past? This story that I'm telling you, Dexter and Sinister. So I learned this story from word past. Okay. Now, ambidextrous, yes, skilled in using both his or both the hands. Dexterous, again, dexterous is also a word which means skillful. Adroit is a synonym that we learned in the last class, isn't it? Adroit. Ambiguous also is related to ambi, correct? Ambience, is it related to ambi? But in an ambience, what's the element of both? We're talking about the atmosphere, yes. I don't think it's related. No, I don't think it's related. No. It must have a different root. Okay, okay, Vicky. I have seen Three Idiots. I haven't seen Shivaji the Boss. Okay, movie recommendation. All right. So ambience, no, and ambiguous, ambidextrous, ambivalent, and there was one more ambi that I uttered. Right, ambivert. Yes. Equus, everybody understands. Equus means equal. Equus means equal, right? We saw equanimous, we just saw equivalent. Now, it is often confused with another root, which is this equus. Now, equine. Anybody who knows the meaning of the word equine? Yes. Equine, feline. These words are used to refer to animals. Sinister could be related to sin. Pinjal, I'll have to check. I think it's a whole root in itself, but I'll have to check. Equine, equine comes from equus, which means horse. So equine means related to a horse. Feline would be related to feline tendencies. After living in the forest, he started exhibiting feline tendencies. So whose tendencies? The cat family, probably the lion also, right? So, but there is a specific word for lion. If this person started exhibiting lion-like tendencies, what would that be called? Lion-like tendencies. That will be leonine. Leonine. Correct. Equestrian. Yes, very good. So, what is equestrian? Equestrian. Tell me. It is related to the horse. Equestrian. So, his equestrian hobbies, his equestrian pursuits would be related to his pursuits in horse riding, his hobby of horse riding, right? So, equestrian is related to horse riding. Good, good. नहीं meow नहीं कहेंगे उसे प्रणव. Leonine, 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 right? So, leonine related to horse riding is equestrian, equestrian skills. Okay, okay, chalo. That means this is clear. Android नहीं था वो adroit था बच्चे. Adroit, Shiva. Adroit means skilled. I think it was a क्या कहते हैं this automatic correction. Autocorrect, yes. Looks like I'm too old for saying autocorrect. Skillful. All right. So I hope now these words are clear to you. All these roots are clear to you. We've learned quite a few words through just these 4 questions. My aim was to load these questions with roots so that you go with quite a number of roots today. But there are more questions, of course. If you are enjoying the session, if you've liked it so far, please go and press the like button, right? And let's attempt a couple more questions. So this is a fill in the blank question right in front of you. There are words that seem very similar, but probably they aren't. So you have to tell me which word fits here in this fill in the blank. Yes. So today it's a pretty chilled out session. I'm not timing you. I want you to give me the correct answers and to focus on learning. So tell me, what is the answer? Chaya says A, Om says D, Nandaraj also says D, Amrit C. Okay. That's the good thing about vocabulary. I get multiple responses. A, C, D. What else? Okay. I think you would be able to narrow down to 2 options here, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 C's I've got. Others, what are you doing? This is such an easy question. D, okay. All right. A. No, he would not dissent. Dissent is to protest. This has a negative prefix here. Okay. So scent, sense, both these roots mean to feel. Right? The word sense, sensory, sensible, sensitive, they come from sense, and scent is a form of this sense only. Right? So they mean to feel. So when you feel against something, right, you dissent, you protest. Resent, you have negative feelings about something and you just throw it back at the person, right? When you resent them, you have angry and bitter feelings. So angry and bitter feelings towards someone. So you just threw your negative feelings back at them. Re means back or again. Assent. This is add plus sent actually. Add the prefix that we saw earlier. You sent your feelings towards your similar feelings towards their feelings. So you assented, you agreed. That is the word that I was looking for here. He quickly agreed. Now you must be thinking that even consent can fit here, right? These two words are very close. Okay, assented and consented. The minor difference is that consent a lot of times involves giving permission. An element of permission is involved here. Indeed, right? So that is why this is a less appropriate fit as compared to assented, which means agreed, right? So con together. So basically, again, you feel the same way together when you consent to something, right? But assented is a better fit here. Present. Now present has a different root. It does not have sent. It has a different root. Okay. This root is S. This S becomes sent here. Right? So I hope this is clear to you that assented will be used here. A sentient being, a being that can feel things. Yes? Sentient. Even the words sentinels and sentry, they come from here. Sentient, sentinel, sentry, they're related. A sentient being is a being who can feel things, right? We shouldn't hurt sentient beings. Sentinel, sentries or sentry, they are guards. They can feel their surroundings. They're very aware of their surroundings. That is why you appoint them as guards, sentinel, sentry, right? So the root here is sent, sense. A sentinel is a person who can feel his or her surrounding. A guard, a sentry is also a guard. Now, here, this sent, the last sent is actually not sent. The root is S. The root is S, right? S means to be. So when let's say you are present somewhere, the pre and S combine to make S only. You basically are there. This pre means before. So almost at the same time or at the same time, being very near, very close. That is the idea. That is when you are present, right? So S is a different root altogether. It comes from the Sanskrit asti, hai, right? To be. And it, yeah. So sentimental related to sent, sentiment related to sent, absolutely correct. Pre means before, correct, correct. So we have learned one root here, sent, sense, and S also, which means to be. Okay, another fill in the blank question, a very short sentence for you, and anybody with an idea of history should be able to mark this correctly. Sentient, a feeling being, right? A being who can feel things, that is sentient. Okay, when you are alive, you are capable of feeling things. Okay, let's see. Two more questions to go after this. One is an interesting match the following, and the last one is one of my favorites. Okay, you would think that I'm a very dark person when you look at the question. A, B, C. Okay. D and E nobody's saying. Okay. Others, what do you say? Come on. So A, B, C, all right. C, okay. Anand is pretty sure that it's C. B and C both work. Okay. Exquisite. Does that work here? Tanil, okay. Please repost it. Repost it. Okay, all right. So this is what I have got primarily. Now, requisite, something that's necessary. Perquisites, perks, right? The perks that you get in your job, the extra benefits in a job. Perquisites. Exquisite. If I call something exquisite, that means it's beautiful in a very delicate way, right? Beautiful. So if I say that, Ladakh is an exquisite place, right? It's beautiful in a delicate way, right? If I say that she has an exquisite taste in poetry, that means her taste is intensely beautiful, right? So that is what exquisite is a highly positive word. So Hitler's dash tendencies knew no boundaries, knew no bounds, right? So Hitler की क्या tendency थी? What did Hitler want? I know we shouldn't apply our general knowledge here, but Hitler basically wanted to rule everywhere, even outside Germany, right? He wanted to acquire other countries as well. So he had acquisitive tendencies. He had acquisitive tendencies, right? So acquire से बना है acquisitive, and that is what will fit here. He was not, his curious tendencies knew no boundaries. See, when I say boundaries, this or bounds for that matter, the idea is that of acquisition, right? So B is the best fit here, right? Semantically, historically, in every way. Okay. Inquisitive is curious. And what is the root that we are discussing here? Hanji, what is the root that we are discussing? Any idea, any guesses? Just look at the common element in all the words, no, and tell me the meaning also. What do you think is the meaning of this root? Yes. Tell me the meaning. Yes, Nandraj, you gave the right answer. In his early years, he was an artist. So, in that case, also his exquisite tendencies, his beautiful tendencies knew no boundaries. We could say that he had an exquisite taste in, let's say, paintings, or he was an exquisite painter. We could say those things. Quisite, right? And what would quisite mean? What would quisite mean? Any ideas? Just guess from the words, no? Okay. So, just a second. Quisite, cite, seek, ask. Okay, seek, ask. That is quisite. So that is the root here. Now, let me just check the chat box once. So Sanil is asking, does ambi and amphi have the same meaning? Yes, they do. They do. The difference is that ambi is a Latin root, amphi is a Greek root. Okay, and both mean both. Okay, so amphibian, yes, somebody who can live both on land and water. So amphi, good question. Amphi comes from Greek, ambi comes from Latin. Right. Any other queries? Quiz to look for, to seek, to ask. Correct, correct, correct. Absolutely. Quest is to look for something. Very good. That's also related. So it actually, again, अगर मैं बिल्कुल pure उसके root में जाऊँ, the root is querer. Okay. So query, inquire, acquire. That is the root that we are discussing here. Okay. So quizit means to seek, to ask, to basically inquire. That's the idea, right? So inquisitive, in plus quisitive, plus quisit. You ask about something in depth. In here means in only, in depth, right? So see, one prefix can have multiple meanings. Here it means in, but there in indisputable, incontrovertible, it meant not, right? So prefixes and suffixes, particularly prefixes, they can have multiple meanings. Okay, have tending to ask or seek something in depth. Then acquisitive, act to से वो add का act बन गया, acquisitive. Again, seek to acquire things, seek to something, right? Exquisite, to seek out. When you seek out something, you really search for it. Okay, so something that is very sought out is something that everybody wants. Yes. Requisite, you seek it again and again. If it's necessary, you can't do your job without it, right? You'll of course seek it again and again. I need the requisite papers in order to file your returns, right? The necessary papers. So requisite, often used in a legal context. Perquisites, seek thoroughly, Every employee thoroughly seeks for extra benefits, right? So seek thoroughly. Okay. So good initiative, Pranav. Query, yes, that's a query, right? Query is different from this. Query is different from this. So that you could relate with cite. Okay, Vicky. Which one is for which one are you asking this? How is it related? Perquisite, because we seek perks thoroughly. That's why. So these are the roots that we've learned along with the prefixes. All right. So these were some fill in the blanks. Any queries so far, anything you wish to add, you can add in the chat box. I'll read your messages. Now we have a match the following question. Let me see who answers the fastest. Yes. And of course the answer has to be correct, okay? Match column A with B. Some of these words are common. One of the words we have discussed in our previous session. The second last question for the day. Expecting enthusiastic responses from everyone. Fastest fingers first. All right. C. Okay. C. Okay. Others. C. E. Okay. But mainly I've got C. So Vicky answered the fastest, followed by Amrit, Harry. All right. All right. So a lot of you are saying C for this. You have realized what the root is. Pug is the root that we are discussing. You know the dog pug. Why is the dog called a pug? Anybody who's ever wondered this? Pug actually means a fist. A fist. Okay. It is related to fight, dispute. Now, a pug actually has a face in the form of a fist. You know, recall the face of the dog pug. Fist jaisa face hota hai na? So, that is why the dog is called a pug. Okay. Anyway, so coming to this question, repugnant we discussed. Repugnant is something that is disgusting, repulsive. Repulsive. Right. So, okay, something that that you would fight again and again if you could. You would fight seeing it again and again if you could. Something that you find disgusting, right? A has to be for. All right. Pugnacious. Now, you know, you could do this by actually identifying the parts of speech also. So this is one technique, one trick that you can apply, particularly in an exam like IIFT. Okay, IIFT is famous for its match the following questions. Earlier, even NMAT used to give some. Now also it can give. So, pugilist is a noun, impugn is a verb, and pugnacious is an adjective. Now here, this is a noun, this is an adjective, and this explains a verb. So you've got your answers. Pugnacious, somebody is always ready to fight, a belligerent person. So B has to be 2. You are absolutely correct. Those who said C, right? So 4, B is 2, C is 1. Pugilist is a boxer, a professional boxer. Impugn. When you impugn someone, you basically dispute the truth of what they are saying. I am not impugning what you gave as your testimony. I am not impugning your testimony. That means I am not disputing it. I am not calling it into question. So impugn is to call into question. You are basically in a way fighting it in a way. Okay. So C is the answer here. And the root that we have learned through this is pugn, which means fist or to fight. Belligerent. Belligerent has the root bell. This bellum, actually, bellum also means to fight. Bellum also means to fight. So bellicose is another word that has bellum in it, which means to fight. Antebellum means before a war. Okay. Postbellum means after a war. Alright. Bellipotent means somebody who proves to be very powerful in a war. So another root learnt. Bonus root. Okay. Pugilist is a noun. Good, Amrit. Good. Now, the last one, as I said, you will feel that I am a dark person because this happens to be one of my favorite discussion topics. Yes, this word, this root. So tell me, what's the odd word out here? Last question for the day. Fastest fingers first. Let's see. Yes, yes, the Vodafone dog is a pug. Nepoticide, okay. There was this telecom company, no, whose slogan was walk when you talk. Which one was it? If you remember, walk when you talk. Idea. I think idea was it. It was idea. Right, right, right. So back in college, we were asked to create a comic strip, right? And basically, we had to create a comic strip. This could be about some brands also. So what I did was that I created one where there's a person who's walking a dog. It's a pug. So you can see that, okay, this is probably that Vodafone ad that became very popular where you had these cute pugs. But then suddenly the dog starts running after the man himself, right? The dog gets wild and the man then starts running. Okay, and then the third stencil said, "Why run and get tired when you can walk when you talk?" Right. So basically, it was a dig at Vodafone and a promotion of idea. So yeah, A C D E. All right. Multiple responses. Anybody who's sure about this? Bellum means war, Nandraj. Bellum is war. So antebellum, postbellum, bellicose, belligerent, bellipotent. Okay, Chaya said nepoticide. Ravi then said meriticide. Sanil said nepoticide again. Pranav, auxoricide. Pope, nepoticide. Vishal, again nepoticide. Okay, okay. No, this is not going well. Okay, Shriyans has answered correctly. The answer is regicide. Regicide is the odd word out here. Okay, regicide is the odd word out here. Killing of the king. Killing of the king is called regicide because rex means king. Sorry, rex means king. Okay, so rex or reg basically means king. Now, nepoticide. This, what does it mean? Nepotism. I think all of you could associate it with nepotism. The root here is nepotic, which means nephew. Okay, so nepote is nephew. Nepotism, favoring your relatives, particularly, by giving them jobs, etc. That is nepotism. We have all heard that conversation of nepotism in Bollywood, right? So in Hindi, it's called Bhai Bhatija Vad. So nephew, associated with nephew. Nepoticide, killing of a nephew. Killing of a nephew. Just a second. Something happened to the screen. Yes, Karan Johar is associated with it. Right, right, right. Now, meriticide. Meritus means your spouse, particularly your husband. Killing of your husband is meriticide. Side, you've realized by now that it means killing. Parricide, killing of a parent or a close relative. Parent or close relative is parricide. And uxoricide, uxor is wife. Okay, killing of someone's wife is uxoricide. Right? So all of these are related to relatives, whereas this was related to king. That is why this was the odd word out. E is the answer. An uxorious person is someone who is extremely devoted to his wife. This is seen as a negative word. Okay, someone who's devoted probably in an unhealthy way to his wife. Parricide comes from parents. Basically, the word parent also comes from here. Meritus, probably someone you're married to, that must have been the root. And these are the words, these are the roots that we've seen here. Meritus is actually husband, Merita is wife. Merita is wife. Okay. Regal, yes, regal is associated with it. Regime is associated with it. Regimen is associated with it. You are right. You are right. So we can associate it with king. Okay. All right. So how is Harry an example of this is associated? Actually, I associated it with Game of Thrones. So in Game of Thrones, I think I may have discussed it with you earlier as well. There is this scene where Tyrion and Jaime, they are discussing that what is the term for killing of your family members, because Tyrion is accused of nepoticide. Tyrion is also accused of regicide because the nephew happens to be the king, right? So they start discussing all of these words, and that actually instilled my curiosity in this, that what are the words for killing of relatives. So patricide, matricide I knew. I searched for the others. Right. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the session. Henpecked, yes, henpecked is a synonym for uxorious. Correct. Yes, yes, they also have words, Vicky. So the killing of your sister is called sororicide. Killing of your brother is called fratricide. Fratricide. Right? Soror means sister, fratry means brother. Right? Fratry, bhratri se bana. Yes, you've seen the Namaste London. If you have, then you would know this. So I hope you enjoyed the session. Yes, if you did, please press the like button. Please share it with your friends, right? And I'll see you again with a lot more interesting vocabulary, grammar, and the sessions on other topics, right? So I'll see you tomorrow then. Yes, and we are going to discuss. What are we going to discuss? Just a second. Tomorrow is, yes, we are going to discuss 4 topics in one class. Okay, so 4 question types in one class. Fill in the blanks, synonyms, antonyms. There's one new question type that I would be focusing on, word rearrangement. Okay, and apart from this, a couple of error correction questions. Right. So see you tomorrow. Welcome, welcome all of you. Bye. And yes, you can stay connected with us on this through this Telegram group. Right. Shriyans, yes, we do have more vocabulary sessions planned in July. So we will have more vocabulary sessions. Okay, don't worry about it. All right. Welcome. Avunculicide, yes, killing of one's uncle is called avunculicide. Which session once? ERD? What is that? Error detection. All right. So you can just message or comment which session you want. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.